dahil sa bakuna, bumaba talaga. So, kukunting hawaan, kasi kukunti naman yung tao na hindi nabakunahan. So, yan ang magandang balita. At palagay ko, kung sumusunod lang kayo, dumadating naman yung mga bakuna natin. Hirap na hirap tayo noon kasi wala na naman tayong manufacturing company ng bakuna dito sa Pilipinas at nagkakipag-agawan tayo ng bakuna sa ibang bayan. Yan ho ang nakabigay ng problema sa akin. Ngayon, kung kasalanan man yan, walang iba dyan kung hindi ako na. Aaminin ko na yan. Ako yung nakaupo ngayon sa opisina ko. So dapat somebody has to, well, baski na ginusto ko man, walang mabili. Ba't mabutit na lang, nagkaroon tayo ng konting pera.
The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The Health Department and other experts have high hopes that the country will have a merrier Christmas this year as cases continue to drop, despite the effects of the Delta variant. Greg Gregorio with the details.
The Health Department continues to see a downward trend in the number of COVID-19 cases. Since its peak in early September, data shows a 4,000 drop in the 7-day moving average of the daily new cases nationwide. As for NCR, less than 2,000 daily new cases were recorded last week. That translated to positive progress in hospital utilization rate, both for ICU and non-ICU beds. At the national level, ICU bed utilization is still at a high risk, but the utilization of non-ICU beds are now at the safe zone. Only 3 regions are now at high risk. NCR and 7 other regions are now under moderate risk. 6 others are under low risk.
Nakita na ho natin na kaya natin lahat pababain ang mga kaso kahit na gaano ka-dangerous ang variant na meron tayo ngayon.
And even with the additional 411 cases of the Delta variant, the OCTA research group says the downward trend may mean victory over the Delta variant surge.
Tingin nga natin ito na yung patapos na yung Delta variant. Hindi pa ubos yung Delta variant pero kumukonti na sila.
Professor David likewise noted that Metro Manila may be classified as low risk in the next weeks, adding that the alert level 4 may be de-escalated come October 16.
Nakikita natin ay tuloy-tuloy na yan hanggang Pasko at magiging maligaya na sana ang Pasko natin. I mean, yan yung inaasahan natin.
The DOH issued projections should the alert level system be de-escalated. According to the DOH, Metro Manila may see a higher number of daily new cases should it be placed under alert level 3, compared to what the numbers could be under a status quo alert level 4. Still, the DOH shares the same hopes for a better situation come Christmas. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
The OCTA research group agrees that restrictions in Metro Manila should be eased by October 15, citing a downtrend in numbers since mid-September. OCTA's Professor Guido David tells One News' The Chiefs that fewer people are getting tested at this point, as there are also less people getting sick from the virus. He says the group supports the easing of restrictions because based on their assessment, NCR is now at moderate risk as well as surrounding regions. David also personally believes that the capital status could already be downgraded to alert level 3, noting that the resurgence of cases is now unlikely.
Of course, there are things now can be discussed. Maybe hindi pa tayo ready for large social gatherings of mixed vaccinated and unvaccinated. Pero if we can work out the details, we actually support yung easing. We're not as worried na magkaka-resurgence na massive na biglang magtataas, mag-ECQ or something. Parang we're not seeing that eh.
Senatorial aspirant Diokno clarifies he is not and never was a member of the Liberal Party. In an interview with the Chiefs, Diokno made the announcement after recently joining a new political party, the Katipunan ng Nagkakaisang Pilipino. Despite this, Diokno said that he supports the presidential bid of Vice President Leni Robredo, who remains chairperson of the Liberal Party.
Once and for all, I'd like to clarify, I am not a member of the Liberal Party. I have never been a member of the Liberal Party. There are some quarters who are trying to portray me as that, pero hindi po totoo yun. I am now a member of the KANP, Katipunan ng Nagkakaisang Pilipino. It's a new brand of politics. They are doing away with trapo type of politics. We are fielding around more than 60 local government officials in the coming election.
Meanwhile, senatorial aspirant Teddy Baguilat reveals that he's running for office to represent the indigenous peoples in the Senate. Speaking on 1PH sa Totoo Lang, Baguilat said that the Senate is currently filled with people from political dynasties, retired military men, lawyers, and celebrities. And for him, the time is right for indigenous peoples to get a seat in the Senate.
So it's about time naman kung meron talaga tayong gustong ipaglaban na maging batas para mapagtanggol ang ating ninunong lupa, then let an indigenous person be that candidate. At meron naman tayo sigurong maaaring malaki, no? Malaking maiambag natin sa lawmaking, no? Batay na rin sa ating karanasan. Hindi naman ako baguhan sa politika eh.
Yeah.
Dati akong mayor, dati akong governor, at saka 9 years as a congressman. Nandun yung track record natin, no? As an environmental advocate, indigenous people's rights advocate. So yun yung dadalhin ko, no, sa ating lineup, no, bilang kinatawan ng mga katutubo, at the same time bilang isang environmental advocate, human rights advocate dun sa ating lineup.
The family of slain Filipina nurse Maria Ambrosio in New Jersey laments the untimely death of their loved one. Ambrosio was supposed to come home in March to bury her dad, who had died of COVID-19. Jenny Dongon with the story.
A harmless stroll along Times Square in New York turned fatal. 58-year-old Filipino nurse Maria Ambrosio was with her 4 friends in the famous Big Apple spot on Friday when a homeless theft knocked her down while fleeing the police.
Para siyang natulak, gano'n. Tumama yung ulo sa simento. Masama kang tama sa batok. Opera nga daw, kaya lang doon sabi ng doktor. Parang guli kaya pagka na-operahan.
This video shows the Filipino frontliner on life support fighting for her life. But she eventually succumbed to serious head injuries.
Halos yung pagiging nurse niya, dinedicate niya talaga yung buhay niya sa abroad. Almost 25 years.
Authorities arrested the mugger, Jermaine Foster. He was charged with second-degree murder. His family says he is suffering from mental health issues. While relieved, Maria's family still couldn't take the untimely death of their loved one. She was supposed to go home March next year to bury her dad, who was cremated after dying due to COVID-19.
Pagdusa na sa kulungan, yung kaso kasi niya, lagyan ng murder. No bail. Hindi siya makakalabas ng lifetime na yun.
Elmer Cato, Consul General in New York, said that Maria is the latest victim of the ranged individual on the loose in New York City. Cato urged authorities to increase police visibility to make the streets safer. The palace has called on the U.S. government to investigate the incident.
All victims of violations to life are entitled to a speedy domestic remedy. No? So we appeal, of course, to the U.S. administration to investigate and prosecute the killer of this Filipino nurse.
Maria's body will be cremated after a public viewing in New York. It remains to be seen if her ashes will be brought back to the country. For News 5, Jenny Dongon, We Are One News.
Three U.S.-based academics won the 2021 Nobel Prize for Economics on Monday for their work on the effects of minimum wage policies. Let's hear more about the research on Bloomberg Surveillance.
For these Nobel Prize winners today, congratulations. And I agree, you can go back to the really path-breaking work that David Card and Alan Kruger did in the early 1990s, and it was very careful, empirical work. Go out in the world and see what is happening in states that raise minimum wage and states that don't. Now, a lot has happened in terms of research since then, but they at least raise the question that you raise wages and you don't lose out on business. It's not bad for the company. Normally, in economics, we'd say this is going to be a problem for employers. This is going to be a problem for businesses. And they found in one case, and like I said, there's a lot of literature, there's a lot of debate after that about the effects of minimum wage, but it really opened up a conversation. Let's get past our models.
Right.
And let's go see what's happening.
Well, to all of this and the incredibly acute mathematics of Angus and Emmons as well, also working, I should point out, with Alan Kruger. Claudia Sam, what this comes down to is the reality right now, and I have a question on local economics. Think David Blanchflower at Dartmouth. Is Amazon, Target, Costco, are they the marginal price determinant of the wage in local economies?
Well, this is a trend we have seen for decades. So this goes way beyond COVID in that you have local labor markets where there is a dominant employer. Amazon's a big company in terms of customers buying things. Amazon can be a big employer if you are in an area that has one of the warehouses. I grew up in Indiana, close to an interstate. When I go home, there's all kinds of warehouses in place now or being built. They tend to pay above the local wage, but then they have a lot of bargaining power over the workers. And that can lead to real problems, not just in terms of wages, but working conditions, right? Like we know from a lot of people that have worked in these plants or these warehouses, it's not an easy job.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. Parts of northern Luzon were flooded due to severe tropical storm Maring. Transport groups are asking for a fare hike as another big-time oil price increase takes effect today. And the government names the 8 hospitals that are set to participate in the pilot run for pediatric vaccinations against COVID-19. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 12 noon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.